Welcome to the Ignorance is Strength podcast. I'm your host, Fabian motherfucking Ojeda, and I don't know shit, but that's okay.
All right, let's get this shit started. Thank you everybody for listening to the Ignorance is Strength podcast. Hope you're all enjoying the podcast so far. I hope you enjoyed episode number 3 with Rafa Centeno, aka Sosa, for those of you who know him as that name. We've been getting a lot of good feedback. Downloads are in the triple digits, which is good because I was expecting maybe to get 20 people to listen at some point. So we're doing all right for ourselves, and then we're just barely starting up. Fair warning for anybody listening: if you know me, if we talk regularly, I'm going to interview you, and I'm coming for you. Had a cousin on, had a few good friends on, and I even reached out to coworkers. And for our next guest, I didn't have to reach very far. I just had to pop my head in next door and ambush guest number 4 for episode number 4, my brother, Mauricio Ojeda. How you doing, Mauricio?
Pretty good.
Pretty good. How we doing in this goddamn quarantine?
In all honesty, I'm actually kind of surprised in myself. I thought I would be freaking out because, I have a lot of friends that are gym bros and stuff, and they're losing their fucking minds right now because they can't go to the gym. And as someone who spends most of their free time in the gym, I'm actually a little surprised at how well I'm handling it.
I mean, you basically spent $1,000 on building your own gym.
Yeah, I mean, that was the thing. It's like as soon as I saw, they started closing the gyms in LA, that's when I got into high alert. Like, now's the time to just start, putting orders in for stuff. And then I saw my gym was closing the next day, and I just figured, like, hey, better act quick because all this stuff is going to sell out immediately. So, yeah, it's not quite,
Still couldn't get any 45s.
Yeah, but that's the thing right now. I was kind of already heading in this direction anyway, but I'm focusing more on endurance lifting as opposed to strength training. So, yeah, that's the thing. You just got to make the best of the situation.
Yeah? Well, you still don't have a haircut.
Yeah, that's the thing, It's like I can't rock a shaved head very well, so, just going to have to deal with it. I've had long hair before. So,
that's true. Yeah. And I did used to do your hair when you had the long hair.
Yep.
We'll bring that back. Maybe we'll start with the mullet. How do you feel about being ambushed for the podcast?
Honestly, like right now, I think the reason why I'm probably handling not being able to go to the gym and stuff so much is that I've been actually very, very busy because I'm working at home right now, and it's kind of one of those things where this is actually going to extend to when I talk about weight loss, is that I get into the mode where I get addicted to stuff, and especially if it's something productive, I just get lost in it. So like right now, I can't really escape work because work is at home.
Yep.
So I'm just working like crazy and getting stuff done. It's like I'm actually kind of busier right now with my job than if I was at my office. So it's kind of one of those things where like, hey, just focus on my time on the stuff I can take care of and be productive in.
I'm going the other way where I'm not doing shit.
Yeah.
And I'll try to work. They don't want to give me any work.
I mean, hey, that's the thing. Like sometimes too, your body or your mind just kind of need the break. Like right now, like I'm still working out, still putting the work in, but I'm not training out nearly as intense as I usually do. Because like prior to this, I was working out 6 days a week and doing 2-a-days like 4 to 5 times a week, and like I can handle it. But like honestly, it's like I would have never taken a break from that if I wasn't forced to, because my body's just accustomed to it. My mindset's just accustomed to it. Yeah. So right now it's kind of like, hey, my body's getting a chance to recuperate, getting able to sleep a lot more than I normally would. And even though I'm still working out, pretty hard, I'm working out smarter, just and getting more rest in. And obviously it's forcing me to kind of focus more on the nutrition. I mean, obviously being home here with you and mom is like kind of like I've been sneaking in more foods that I normally wouldn't eat. But
we're supposed to get fat. That was the plan.
That was the plan, but I guess I that didn't work out too well for too long,
Did you listen to Andre's episode of the podcast?
I listened it through the door and out through the back patio because I work out on the back patio, and I could hear most of the interview through the doorway. So I haven't actually listened to the audio just yet.
You sack of ass.
I mean, hey, that's the thing. I've been busy. I barely get time to work. I barely make time to work out nowadays. I have a backlog of other podcasts I listen to. I mean, hey, this is kind of how I got you into podcasts, right?
That's true.
Because I was listening to them all the time, and I wouldn't shut the fuck up about like, hey, listen to the podcast. Pretty interesting.
I had to start listening. Yeah.
And now you're doing one.
I'm not a Joe Rogan fan though. I mean, it's a little too pretentious sometimes.
Yeah, that's a little out of control. I know he's the big podcast out there right now. I think people take them a little too seriously. I mean, they basically base all their opinions and their life philosophy around
what
he
Joe
says.
do, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I it's entertainment for me. I mean, there's a lot of stuff I don't agree with that he says, but hey, I mean, it's entertainment.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to talk about the big thing that you've done that a lot of people only, talk about or fantasize about, but you actually did it. And that was twice in your lifetime you lost, and this is not an exaggeration, I don't believe, at least 100 pounds.
Correct.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, when you put it that way, yeah.
Twice in your lifetime, you lost a fucking small cheerleader.
Yeah.
You sweated the bitch out.
Yeah.
I think it bears repeating one more time. You lost 100 pounds twice in your lifetime.
I don't know. Maybe that's why I was able to do it. To me, it's not that big of a deal just because, it's like, here's the thing with weight loss. It's a process. Mm-hmm. I think people look a lot of the times, they think like, oh, well, like, especially like we watch a lot of MMA and a lot of fighting, and you came up through high school and collegiate wrestling where people just shed weight, they cut weight, and they lose a lot of weight quickly. I think another thing is a lot of people look at like ads for like diet pills, or they look at like crash diets and stuff, and they think the way to lose weight, you got to lose like a good amount of weight within a short amount of time. Like you got to lose it quick. It's like, no, if you look at it that way, you're not going to get it done. The reason being, because a lot of times when people approach weight loss, they approach it from a standpoint of doing things they don't want to do. For example, like me, I don't really follow any particular strict diet, because here's the thing. Like, food is something you should enjoy. Yeah. It's like, if you don't enjoy what you're eating, it becomes work. And then the thing is, if food becomes work, you're not gonna stick with it long term, because you're not enjoying what you're eating, and it feels like a chore or a job. So you're not gonna stick to it long term. You're gonna drift away from your eating habits. Like for me, I found like foods that are healthy and good for me, and I stick to them primarily. I mean, obviously I get experimental if I get bored with the food eating, honestly.
Yeah, we made those bison burgers.
Yeah, but the thing is, I typically don't get bored with what I'm eating, because I actually enjoy what I'm eating. So, like, a lot of times, like, Dad helps with barbecuing meats and stuff. Like, pre-quarantine, I'd go over and he would cook, chicken and tri-tip and steaks for me and stuff. And he was actually venturing off and going to start creating his own meal prep business up until, lockdown hit and everything. That kind of interrupted that. But anyway, yeah, it was very helpful and stuff. And the thing is, like, people would see me, like, at work with my little prepared meals and be impressed. But then they would also have, like, don't you get tired of eating the same stuff? I'm like, no, because the thing is, I legitimately enjoy it.
Yeah, that's interesting, like how you mentioned that, because even with the workouts, you would get like people to tell, oh, just do this, but I don't like that.
Exactly.
You mentioned Dad. Like, Dad would be like, oh, you have to do cardio and only cardio, and do this, and I'm like, but I don't like that. When I really enjoyed going to the gym was just going to lift or do some kind of MMA thing back when I was able to. But if I don't like it, I'm not going to do it, and it's going to be a chore.
Like, that's part of the reason why, for me, personal training and stuff, like, it doesn't work for me.
No.
Because the thing is, no offense to anybody that's a personal trainer or anything, but, like...
Yes, offense. No, I'm just kidding.
Plead the fifth. But anyway, they're approaching... Yeah, a lot of personal trainers are approaching it from the stance of what works for them. And what works for them, like some gym bro who's, like, all juiced to the gills on, like... artificial testosterone and stuff like that. It's not going to work for, like, the soccer mom who's like gained some weight and works out just to try to shed a few pounds or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like what his diet, his supplementation, his workout routine is not going to work out the same way for everybody. And that's the thing. Like, when people ask me, like, I tell them, oh, I lost this much weight or whatever, or they see me, they haven't seen me in years or whatever, and they ask, like, how'd you lose so much weight or whatever? And then I tell them, I'm like, yeah, this might not necessarily work for you, because the thing is, like, this worked for me. And the thing is, too, like, when I've lost weight, I've had two entirely different approaches to it.
Yeah, I mean, like, in the grand scale, obviously, you probably look at yourself, you look better, your clothes fit better, but how do you feel? What's the difference? What is it?
Okay, well, let me talk about the two different times I've lost weight. It's completely different feelings. The first time I lost 100 pounds was around, like, I'm gonna say senior. It started around, like, maybe late junior, early senior year of high school. I started working out. And the thing is, too, like prior to that, I was not into working out at all. I mean, you bought me a Bally's gym membership, and it was a struggle to get me to go and stuff.
The most disappointing thing.
Yeah, it's like I was basically wasting your money for like a year or so.
Waste my money.
And then the thing is, one day I'm, like, this is gonna be a reoccurring topic throughout the podcast. But I was watching a pro wrestling pay-per-view. TNA Wrestling, at it was the competitor to WWE at that point in time, around the mid 2000s, and like me and now he's officially our step cousin, but Carlos, like we were heavy into pro wrestling and stuff at the time. We would watch all these pro wrestling pay-per-views, and we pretty much grew up on pro wrestling, and like it just kind of hit in my head just randomly, like no particular reason. I was just watching the show, and I was like, I should start working out. And the thing is, like, from that day I start, like when you wanted to go to the gym, I tagged along with you. I would start doing runs around the street in the mornings, on weekends, whatever. Or then I even started getting rides to the gym on my own. I'd ask you or mom to take me to the gym. And like I would spend like 2 to 4 hours in there, and basically, just if somebody was running late to pick me up, I would just keep working out. And then you guys would have to, go up to the front desk or whatever, because I didn't have a cell phone at the time, and just like hunt my ass down, get my ass out of the gym. And it's even to the point where like sometimes you guys, like gym would close, and like you guys they'd have to basically kick me out.
That's still the case.
Yeah. That's why like I am dangerous in the a 24-hour gym is dangerous to me, because like there'll be time like this happened too when we used to do bouncing and stuff like that at bars. Like when we used to work over at 38 in Alhambra, like when I was driving on my own and stuff, it's like I would try to get a workout at the gym before, but it was just more of a hassle to, especially since we had to wear suits and stuff, to do that. So I just started going to the gym afterwards, and this would be like at 3 a.m. or whatever.
And your time management.
Yeah, that's part of the thing. But that's the thing. I was like, we'll get into time management later. But anyway, like, I would head out to the gym at like 3 a.m. or whatever, and like I said, 24-hour gym is dangerous for me, because I would stay there till like 7 a.m. just working out. Pretty much like only person in the gym, only other person there would probably be whoever was working the front desk, and I would just like have fun. It's like that. The gym I was going to used to be a Toys R Us. It's like we played there as kids. I'm playing there as an adult.
Yeah, I thought you were out getting raped. And decapitated, and
not necessarily in that order.
Not necessarily, yeah.
Aqua Teen Hunger Force for anyone who didn't get the joke.
If they don't, then they don't need to know. But how did you feel when you were overweight, though?
I mean, the first time I was overweight, it was more so just out of being unhealthy and stuff. But honestly, it was just more like as a kid and stuff. I was a teenager. I was kind of just enjoying being a teenager. You know what I mean? Going to concerts with my friends, playing video games, eating junk food. Going to 7-Eleven, drinking the 2-hour liter Mountain Dews and stuff. Yeah, pretty much.
It was a fucking 2-liter.
Yeah, me and one of my friends in high school at the time, like we would just go to 7-Eleven, and basically it'd be like straight up out of like saying Jay and Silent Bob or whatever. We would just hang out in front of 7-Eleven, drinking big gulps, eating nachos and stuff, and just talking shit. Fun times. But it's kind of one of those things where like I was starting to feel the effects. It's like we always had like home gym stuff every now and then and stuff like that, and I would try it out, and when I felt like I was getting too out of shape. But generally, like I think I started working out too because like I'm a teenager and I'm feeling like an old man when I wake up. You know what I mean? I just didn't like the way I was feeling. You know what I mean? Plus, I always have kind of like my interests are always kind of intense. You know what I mean? Like heavy metal and like, I was already getting looked at weird enough for liking that stuff and wearing like black t-shirts and having long hair as a guy. So it's kind of like, being overweight and stuff, you're giving people yet another reason to kind of judge you. You know what I mean? And it's kind of
That's true. Even when we go to like the wrestling shows and you see the fat, smelly kids. And they really do smell. If you've never smelled a fat, smelly kid at a wrestling show,
man, if you want COVID, go to an independent wrestling show. Nobody takes showers there. Everybody smells terrible, poor hygiene. Once things open up again, if you want to catch COVID or any kind of infectious disease, go to an independent wrestling show.
If you ever wanted to smell foot, ass, and armpit all in one sitting, just sit next to one of these guys. They'll invite you on their podcast too.
Yep. I think you're going on the Hot Tub Kids podcast.
Oh no!
That's entirely.
I can't even stand his voice for 2 seconds.
Yeah, that's the thing about podcasting is that everybody has a forum, and unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, this is mine.
Yep.
And I mean, I think I'll keep it up as long as I'm still bored in quarantine, and we'll see how long it goes. But So there was no, I mean, you just kind of mentioned there was no like big cathartic moment where you're like, I kind of need to get in shape. It was just kind of like it just hit you out of nowhere. But there has to have been times where you just kind of notice like, I don't like this shit. I don't like the way I look. I don't like the way I feel. Was that early on? Because, I mean, you were pretty much big since you were in elementary school.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I mean, obviously, you know, you get jokes about it. You get looked at weird and stuff sometimes compared to people who are more athletic and stuff as a kid. Nah, I'm not going to lie. Sometimes that did get to me or whatever. But I generally, you know, like, was always looking at the positives and stuff. I mean, we grew up pretty poor family and stuff.
Yep.
But I think that's part of the reason why we've kind of valued stuff like friendships and, you know, like our close family kinship as opposed to like, you know, we don't really buy a lot of expensive shit or whatever. Yeah, we don't really buy like expensive. Well, I mean, I kind of went through an affliction phase as a teenager buying $6 t-shirts and stuff. Yeah. But you know, I mean,
that's just because it looked cool.
Yeah, it's because it looked cool. It was like associated with like MMA fighting and heavy metal, and those are things I like. And, But anyway, yeah, we've never really been crazy with our spending in regards to material shit. So it's kind of like, that's the thing is, too, like, you know, I'm generally a person who doesn't need the approval of others. I mean, kind of sounds cliche or whatever, but it's kind of been one of those things where like, yeah, you know, someone don't like me, fuck them, you know? Yeah. It's like, I don't know if you've seen any of the stuff, like clips of like Michael Jordan at like the Hall of Fame or stuff like that, where even to this day he keeps these petty little grudges and stuff. But it's like, I think that's part of the reason why some people like him achieve certain greatness, because it's like, spite can be a hell of a tool if you use it effectively. You know what I mean?
I didn't know about that.
And I'm not gonna lie, like sometimes when like people say shit to me or like whatever, like it really stings in the moment, or like I get passed over for an opportunity or rejected on something. It's like, that almost becomes like a motivator, like, I'm going to show you, motherfucker, you know? And the thing is like, hey, like I said, if you use that productively, you know, that kind of negative mindset, it can actually work for you in a positive way. And the thing is, too, is like, that it comes off as petty sometimes, but like sometimes, hey, some people are fueled by that. I'm one of them.
I mean, like, was there a time, though, that you just noticed? I know, like, you said, it got to you sometimes, and you wanted to, you know, be positive about it. But there had to have been a time where just like, you know, when you're in elementary school, middle school, high school, when did it start to bother you?
Let's see. I mean, I had moments in elementary school, but generally, you know, like, it's funny because like there was in elementary school specifically, there was one time where like one kid was on my ass about like, you know, being heavy set and stuff like that, and you know, I've always been kind of a thick boy, you know. It's like got a big ass and stuff like that, you know, thick legs, you know. A lot of my weight is in my hips. I got childbearing hips, you know. Good for powerlifting, good for squats, but you know, maybe not so much for men's pants. But anyway, like one moment in particular, you
could have probably done in this day and age an OnlyFans.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really a good platform for guys, but hey, I'm pretty sure there's an audience somewhere.
Just throw on a tongue and you know, just catfish everybody.
Yep. But anyway, yeah, like, I remember one particular moment where, like, yeah, you know, a kid was making fun of me for being overweight, but then the teacher, who I initially, you know, I thought she was kind of a bitch, but it was kind of, she came in my defense, was like, and then kind of made fun of the kid back, basically, like, hey, it looks like you're hiding 2 basketballs back there, you know, because he was heavy set himself and everything. So I think generally because people, you know, people have my back or whatever, or I have a pretty, you know, good opinion, you know, like, I don't really need the validation from other people. I think I was able to maintain a bit of a role, but honestly, like, the reason why is like it was a gradual process of how I was feeling as opposed to how I looked. You know what I mean? Because that's the thing. It's like I was feeling like shit. Like I was, you know, waking up in the mornings and feeling tired, and like, you know, my breathing like was terrible because I was, you know, carrying a lot of excess weight. You know, eating like shit and everything, and it was like I'm a goddamn teenager. You know, like, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like one of those things where like, I could even when I started working out, like I could get away with eating junk food and stuff like that, but I was starting to realize the effect that it had on me. Because like the second time I lost weight, I approached it entirely differently. The first time I lost weight, I mean, obviously I was just eating what was available. You know, mom worked 2 jobs and everything and raised 4 of us. So, you know, she'd buy us a lot of fast food, you know, pizza, burgers,
frozen,
cook when she could too. But like generally we were just eating whatever we could get our hands on. And the thing is, I always ate a lot because like if mom cooked or whatever, I felt like it was my obligation to eat, you know what I mean? Like,
to get rid of it.
Yeah, we ain't gonna waste food. So I think a lot of times too, I ended up overeating because you know, I kind of felt like, yeah, we got, you know, like we don't, you know, we got to finish what we got. You know what I mean? We don't have a lot, but what we got, you know, we gotta you gotta appreciate it, you know.
Yeah.
And I think what happened is the first time I lost weight, I was trying to make up for poor diet, poor nutrition with just hard ass work. Like,
yeah, I mean, I wanted to kind of touch on that, but the first time you lost weight, it was mostly cardio.
Yeah, like the weird thing is, I actually enjoyed running.
Huh.
Like I don't know what it is, maybe just my mentality. Like I liked the feeling of pushing myself and just kind of like, you know, pushing my limits and just almost like the wear and tear of like the running and the exhaustion you get. Like I would go on street runs for like a good hour or so, or like if I was in a gym, I would probably do the equivalent of 5 to 7 miles a day between treadmill and a Stairmaster, most of it on a treadmill. Mm-hmm. And the thing is too, like I was getting to the point where like my running was like so quick, like when I started working out I was 350, but around, you know, gradually losing all that weight I got down to 210, you know. But the thing is, it's like I was getting down to like 6-minute miles at one point. And the thing is, like you saw it, I would be shutting down treadmills just from how fast I was running. Yeah, it was like a damn Clydesdale horse running on the treadmills. You know, it was like I would routinely shut down like 2, 3, 5 treadmill. I think my record was 5 treadmills one time.
Really?
And it's, you know, especially like the gyms I was going to at the time, the staff were just like would be like, motherfucker.
Yeah, they were annoyed.
Like, yeah, you could just see it in their faces. Like they get annoyed about how me ruining the treadmills and stuff. But hey,
here's what it is. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you said the most you weighed the first time before you lost 100 pounds is about 350.
Yeah, and that's around the time when I actually joined football senior year at high school because. Truth be told, I've never actually been a football fan, but part of the reason why I tried it was for the challenge. I mean, honestly, it was a combination of a challenge and I needed PE credit. So,
yeah.
And the thing is, too, I had a math teacher who was actually one of the coaches, and it was an idea he proposed to me one time, like, hey, would you ever be interested in trying out football? You know, I'm a bigger guy and everything, and he was always trying to reach out to me and just try to like, I guess just to try to understand me a bit, because, you know, at the time I was kind of quiet, wasn't talking to a lot of people, and like I said, I was wearing, you know, black t-shirts, black clothing, heavy metal t-shirts, and like long hair and everything, and you know, he was a good guy at heart, so
yeah.
It's kind of one of those things where like, hey, you know, I respect the guy and everything, and it's like, hey, I guess I'll finally try it out. I got a wake-up call though during the Hell Week, because I mean, I know I'd been to some wrestling practices with you and stuff beforehand, but I never like seriously trained in any kind of sport. I never competed in anything beforehand. I'd never been at that hard training, and even when I was starting to work out at that point, I was probably maybe just a couple months in, like going through like a couple days of like what's called Hell Week in high school football. I mean, that's the thing. Like, I didn't leave football being much of a fan of it even after the fact, but what it taught me was how to train hard and how to push my limits. And I think that's the most important thing, because I think a lot of guys, especially a lot of the guys I came up with, like high school football was like the biggest achievement of their life, and they've never moved on, you know? And it's like, hey, I mean, I'm glad you had a great time in high school and everything. I'm glad you were the king of, you know, high school football, even though you were on a losing football team. Yeah. But, I mean, hey, I kind of just want something more, you know what I mean? I don't want the highlight of my life being high school football, you know?
Yeah, I mean, and then also I think it was more of a personal thing for you. For them, it was more of like I'm doing this for the glory of it. I love the team. And,
exactly, yeah. And we came from a team that didn't win a single game during our season. It's like, quiet down, guys. You know, turn the ego down just a bit.
I was gonna say there's a lot of ego going on there, right? And then it was kind of like toxic too. Weren't they taking like pills and shit like that?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a weird thing. Our team was kind of divided into two groups: the guys who were more worried about their image and trying to be the team movie stereotype, you know, wearing the Letterman jacket everywhere and worrying about trying to be the cool guys on campus. And then we had the other half of the team that was more like the guys who were just trying to work hard and actually be good at this, or you know, try to get in shape and everything. And it's like I kind of lean more towards those guys and everything. You know, the guys that are more the quiet, hard workers and everything. And it's funny because like I think what happened is that people realized like how serious I was actually starting to take the training.
Yeah.
Because at one point, you know, I went from being the guy, like whenever we did sprints at the end of practice, I was always dead last. You know what I mean? And then gradually I worked my way up to where, you know, it was to the point at one point where in the heavier size group, I actually beat everyone in my size group at sprints that day, and people were like, "What the fuck?" Even coach was surprised, and we had to keep doing them because, you know, I was kind of the stick at that point. If anybody ever seen that King of the Hill episode where Bobby Hill's the stick, You know, he's like the worst guy on the team or whatever, so he's kind of the example people use to get the other players in line. And the thing is, I think that's the thing. People were just kind of, you know, I didn't make a good impression on my first week because, like I said, I didn't really have a ton of experience in athletics or sports. But gradually, I was starting to take it seriously. So, the work showed, and the guys that I kind of vibed with more started to see it, you know?
Yeah. And, you know, I think you mentioned a little bit of wrestling stuff. I don't know if it was before that season or after, but, I mean, you didn't really get to stick around in wrestling too much. I wanted to see where that would have gone, you know, but I think, you know, obviously the grades and whatnot, you had to get those up, but you were too fucking heavy to wrestle.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think I was kind of in denial about it. Like, I remember when I did my physical for football and then I weighed in on the scale and saw 350, like, I was in just complete denial. I was like, the scale has to be wrong. And I was in that mentality. And, like, that's the thing, too. I was kind of being childish, too. Like, I didn't want to shave my beard or cut my hair or whatever. And I think, you know, like, I mean, I didn't really have a passion for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think, like, ultimately, like, if I was going to stick with it, it had to be something I legitimately enjoyed. Like, in recent years, I've kind of taken up more striking. Yeah. Like, I've taken, boxing and then recently Muay Thai kickboxing. And the thing is, like, I really enjoy striking. And, you know, not to say I enjoy grappling, too. Like, I'll do jiu-jitsu every now and then when I can. But the thing is, I think a lot of, like, wrestling and stuff like that, I mean, I did enjoy it, but I wasn't, like, super passionate about it. And, you know, and the thing is, too, the grades kind of messed that up. And yeah, I think it was just a thing where it was just I was trying to cram everything in too late because, like, if I was going to make a serious run at it, probably should have done it, like, even before high school. Yeah. Like, remember we did that kids wrestling program, and I actually did like it when we did it, like, the 1 or 2 days we did it, but just based on it was kind of disorganized, unfortunately, in the sense that, you know, they had to go to different schools around, and we couldn't stick to it. And I think that's the thing. It's like you got into wrestling early, you know, like freshman year of high school. As for me, I think because it was your thing.
But it was also something I always wanted to do.
There we go. And I think, too, because I kind of, and maybe subconsciously I saw it as your thing. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Oh, you mentioned the fan club, you know?
Oh, yeah. We went to the same high school together, and the only time we ever crossed was my freshman year, his senior year. And it's funny because anytime I got a teacher there that, you know, he was in their class before, like we even had the same counselor. So like anytime they recognized that, you know, we were brothers, they'd be like, "Oh, do you play guitar and wrestle too?" And then I'd be like, "No," and they'd be all disappointed. And I joked he had his own fan club because, like, all these people with all these teachers and the counselor would speak glowingly about Faven, and then here I am walking in with my like Slayer t-shirts, or like I had that Chimera t-shirt that said "I hate everyone," and looking like the complete polar opposite of that.
You're basically on the Columbine list.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like, you know, on my trip, I'd get sent to the counselor a lot. Yeah. And then, you know, just the way she spoke to me and stuff was kind of, I read the room, right? But, yeah, it is what it is.
Didn't they, like, have to have security around you just to make sure you didn't, like, kill anybody?
Yeah, the campus police officer is like, yeah, man, he was really on my ass. Like, anytime I had to go to the counselor for any reason, it's like, especially with t-shirts, you know, like some of the stuff on the heavy metal t-shirts, you know, foul language or maybe some graphic images and stuff. And I basically made myself a target.
Well, I mean, at least you're not denying it.
Yeah.
So the first time losing about 100 pounds, I think it was probably towards the end of your senior year.
Yeah.
I don't think I really saw any difference until you started, you know, graduating. You started to lose some weight there. I think that's when I really started hitting the gym hard when we went to Bally's. But how long did it take you before you saw any sort of change?
I mean, maybe just because this is my body and everything, I never really noticed it. And I guess just because, like, gradually you kind of, you know, when it's happening gradually like that, you don't really take notice of it when you look in the mirror and stuff. And the thing is, you know, like, I don't really spend too much time looking at myself in the mirror, but, you know, but it's kind of one of those things where, like, I think once other people started pointing it out to me, especially people I hadn't seen in a while, like, when I started seeing some friends I hadn't seen since high school, and they started being like, "You lost a lot of weight." I think that's where I finally clicked. Like, I guess I did. You know? Yeah. And then seeing the numbers on the scale and stuff like that, like I started noticing, like, I guess I have been losing a lot of weight. Because, like, I think one of those things is, like, I'm a person that doesn't really weigh myself a lot because I think, you know, I don't really worry about the number. And I think a lot of times people get when it comes to weight, weight loss, people get caught up in the number as opposed to maybe
what you can do.
Yeah, performance or how you feel. You know what I mean? And the thing is, it's like when my whole fitness approach is I'm just trying to feel better and I'm trying to perform better. And if, I lose a lot of weight or my muscles start to look more aesthetically pleasing, then hey, that's just a bonus.
Yeah. The first time around, I know you say you don't do diets per se, but did you make any dietary changes?
Honestly, the first time, the only thing I did was eat less.
Yeah, because you fucking love food.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing is like, looking back on it, it was actually kind of an irresponsible way to kind of approach weight loss because I would eat maybe like one meal a day or whatever, and the meal would usually be like pizza or something like that. And
it was good pizza.
Yeah. Or like, especially in community college, like my breakfast would be Rockstar energy drink and Jack Link's jerky. And I'm not talking about like the no sugar diet Rockstars. It'd be the full on sugar ones. But like, yeah, like that's the thing. I think what happened is that.
And I gotta interject there, Mauricio. Your breath stank like shit.
Oh, for sure.
With that stuff.
Definitely.
You'll be burping ass.
Yep, that's why I always started to carry gum after that, So what happened is that I think the reason why the weight didn't stay off long term at that point, once I lost it, was because of the diet and everything. Because like what would happen is I lost so much weight in a way that was, but the thing is I was substituting diet and nutrition with hard work, and the problem is it started to catch up on my body. Like my knees were feeling like crap from all the running.
Pretty jacked up.
I wasn't getting a lot of sleep because I was going to community college, but I was still trying to spend like 4 hours in the gym or whatever. And the thing is, like, it was just taking my toll, and I wasn't feeding my body with the right stuff. Wasn't getting. It's funny now because you see me carry around these alkaline gallon jugs of water or whatever, but I was barely drinking any water and things. And it wasn't necessarily like I was worried about putting on weight and everything. It's just I didn't know what the fuck to do. You know what I mean? It's like I didn't really take dieting seriously or anything. I just thought like, hey, I can eat whatever I want, and as long as I work hard, the weight will come off. The problem is like my body started just taking a toll on my body, and I just started getting lazier and making excuses. I started to feel like, I'll just take a break for a while. You know what I mean? I think it's too at the time. Also, another thing to consider is I wasn't able to drive, so I wasn't able to go to the gym on my own. But it's also one of the things too. I started to accept that as opposed to
finding a way.
Yeah, I wasn't making the effort.
Well, I mean, how long do you think you kept the weight off the first time around?
Well, the thing is, I actually kept most of the weight off for, I'm going to say, I probably started to regain some weight around when I started going to Cal Poly. So I would probably say probably a good 4 to 5 years. Yeah. I mean, once I transferred over to university, I started to have less time to work out and stuff because I was taking school more seriously. Plus, I was just... well, I shouldn't say super seriously. I mean, there were some classes I had to repeat and stuff like that. But the thing is, too, is just like, the gym was starting to become less of a focus. I would get like part-time jobs and stuff like that. And, I wasn't really making the time to work out and stuff like that. But I was also like changing up my routine because like, I said the first time, like most of my workouts were cardio-based, just running like a madman and, just doing like endurance type workouts. The next phase of my fitness routine, I started to do more like MMA style training because, I saw you were doing some of it and I became like a big fan of the UFC. I would go to the wrestling rooms with you, Real Honda Wrestling Room. Or
that was cool, yeah. They had their night practices?
Yeah, or when, you were briefly a coach at Mountain View High School for a bit, me and Matt would tag along, and like anytime, I could sneak in with you and him to the gym or whatever, I would. And, I kind of, that's when the UFC gym opened up in Rosemead, and I started going in there, sneaking in the classes when I could, or getting in, when they had open sparring, or like heavy, hitting the heavy bags, just trying to do some type of MMA style workout, because I was starting to get into that big time. But I think what happened is that once we moved away from there for a couple of years, and then also had a bit of an incident where I got an infection in my thigh from an unsanitary mat, and this is part of the reason why gyms are closed right now during this COVID outbreak. No matter how much you wipe shit down and everything, you have to worry about the other people, and especially in like jiu-jitsu and grappling type environments.
It's filthy.
Yeah. I mean, dude, like, it's funny, though, like, how many guys I know that are freaked the fuck out about catching staph or whatever, but they're all, acting like kids right now about COVID. It's funny, like, the same guys that worry about getting a staph infection or ringworm or whatever, are, like, all, like, COVID truthers right now, Yeah, it's hilarious.
You pick and choose, I guess.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, I think what happened is that once I no longer had access to do that, because also, too, I was becoming a full-time student and stuff, and even though I had a job, when we were bouncing and stuff, I just had, like, I didn't have a ton of, like, disposable income at the time.
Yeah.
And the thing is, MMA gyms are expensive. Even, like, UFC gyms, it's like, they're a lot more expensive than a typical fitness gym. So, I kind of just couldn't really afford it anymore, and I kind of fell out of working out for a little bit. But when I started to get serious about working out again, I would say around maybe the time probably my senior year at Cal Poly, I started to take up powerlifting.
But before that, before we get into that real quick, you mentioned working at night. That fucks you up.
Oh, for sure.
Because I did that for a very long time, and I think that started started my downfall. Because I really started to work every night, and you get home maybe at 3 or 4 a.m., but you don't sleep till like 7 a.m. And I think that really starts to fuck you up. Maybe that's what it did it for you the first time. The most, where you just kind of like, because we wouldn't go to sleep till late, super late. And by the time we got home, we'd be eating our fucking food that we got for free.
Yeah, that's the thing, too. In our bouncer days and stuff, it's funny because, we usually go out as a group and everything, and even if we worked at different places, we'd all get a cram in your little Honda Civic, a car full of 4 to 5 guys, 3 of us being pretty big. And the thing is, it's like, we haven't eaten yet. We've been working even if it's a part-time shift for like 4 or 5 hours, we haven't eaten all night. And it's like the only thing open is like McDonald's or Carl's Jr. or like Alberto's or something like that. So we would just go in on like super nachos or, taquitos or double westerns.
If you want to get fancy, Denny's.
Yeah, there we go. Denny's too. Yeah. Every now and then we'd splurge for Denny's.
You weren't there when Pig was our waiter at Denny's, were you?
Oh, no, of course not.
Pig is listening. Shout out to Pig. That guy was the best fucking server ever. I got the good looking discount.
I would say that was well earned.
So now I think you're the second time around losing weight, seem to be a little more motivated to keep off the weight for good. And you're taking a lot of supplements. Like, you talk about your supplement stack, because I know sometimes you're talking to me about it. I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about? You start talking about your non-stim and all this other shit. I'm like, talk about that. I don't know much about it because I stopped taking anything, but explain that a little bit.
Okay, I think I started really getting into supplements more. And when we're talking about supplements, we're talking about the type of stuff you could buy at GNC, like
We're not talking about Andre's supplements from episode 1.
No. This is more like protein powders, amino acid mixers, and creatine every now and then, or like multivitamins. Like right now, if you look at my drawer, I've got like a big stack of different supplements. Right now, I'm using Redcon 1. They're like a military-based brand, and they've got some really good stuff. I'm taking protein powder, creatine powder, 2 different types of amino acid drinks, pre-workout, a stim, and then I stack it with a non-stim for the pump effect. And then also I'm taking like a men's multivitamin pack from GNC. It has 2 multivitamins, fish oil, which is good for the joints. I started taking fish oil when I started powerlifting, because that is hell on your joints, powerlifting. And I started to notice, like, oh man, my joints are really messed up. And I was looking into things that can help relieve some of that. And fish oil is really good for that. I'm taking like the multivitamin stack also has a supplement for your blood flow. It helps with circulation, for better circulation in your blood. And sometimes because I've always been heavier set. Like whenever I've had to go for a doctor checkup, they say like, I'm like, sometimes it looks like you don't have good circulation in your blood, in your veins.
Okay.
So that helps too. And then also as soon as I saw the COVID stuff, started to become a legitimate concern, I started looking at things to boost my immune system. Like I'm also using iron supplements, zinc, magnesium, and vitamin C, and then also probiotics too. So, those are really good for the gut health, and yeah, that's very important for the immune support.
Before, in phase 1 of weight loss, you went in blind.
Yeah.
And this time you seem to have a little bit more of an idea of what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
How did you find what worked? And, how did you find out what didn't work? Or did you think, at any point, hey, this shit doesn't work?
Well, here's the thing. Unlike a lot of people right now, I actually took the advice of actual experts and people that have actually know what they're talking about. So I was listening to a lot of podcasts. It started off with pro wrestling based podcasts because I love pro wrestling, and the thing is, they're actually ahead of the curve on a lot of stuff that ends up becoming popular. Like, for example, podcasting. A lot of the podcasts that were initially very popular were from pro wrestlers, because in all honesty, pro wrestlers are very interesting people. The whole industry itself is kind of like everybody.
It's a soap opera.
Yeah, the weird thing is, it presents itself as a sport, and everybody knows it's fake, but they still spend money and watch it. And it's insane, you know what I mean? Fuck, we have and if you think about it, the parallels, pro wrestling is life. It's like everybody's trying to, the phrase is you work, in pro wrestling, which is, it's fake or whatever, but you're just trying to convince other people. Hell, like Donald Trump, he was involved in the WrestleMania that generated the most money of all time, and he's the damn president right now. He worked himself into the highest position of power in this country.
He's a WWE Hall of Famer.
Yeah. Insane to think. And the thing is too, there we go, pro wrestling was ahead of the curve on that, unfortunately. But they've also been ahead of the curve on a lot of things like social media, podcasting, hell,
the network, the WWE network.
And hell, during quarantine right now, everybody was up in arms about sports not happening. WWE's been running the whole time, and they've been ahead of the curve on running shows during quarantine.
With fans.
Yeah, we just watched the UFC tonight, and a lot of my friends are all freaking out, oh man, this feels weird. And even on Joe Rogan on commentary was like, this is so weird without fans. And the thing is, I wasn't fazed by it at all, because we've been watching WWE for the past 2 months, and they've been running shows without fans in their studios for 2 months, and it's just we got used to it. So, but the thing is, they're so ahead of the curve right now. I would, and a lot of those people come from a lot of fitness backgrounds, they're athletes from other sports, or they've been through the fitness ring or two. A lot of them have been personal trainers, or I think one in particular that really, especially during my second time losing weight, that really stuck in my head was the story of Jinder Mahal.
Oh, okay.
For those of you who watch pro wrestling, you're probably not a fan of him because he's not an internet darling. But for those of you who don't watch pro wrestling, his character is the Maharaja. It's Indian royalty. Mm-hmm. And the interesting story about him is that his first run in the WWE was a failure, essentially, because he came in and was just kind of a lower bottom tier guy, and then he was in a comedy act, and he got fired just because he didn't, he was just a guy that was there, didn't really stand out. And then he took that time. He got into ridiculous shape. Obviously,
he was shredded.
He got a little extra help, obviously. But the thing is, his story is interesting because I would listen to him talk about his story and talk about how he got into such great shape. And there's a lot of knowledge in that, because the thing is, he took a more scientific approach to it. And even though, like Andre was saying it, even if you get on steroids, you have to put the work in and stuff, or else it's not going to last. And the thing is, that's what I took from him, because even though the guy looks like a walking lab experiment, the guy knows what he's talking about. Because I know some people who are on the gas and on juice and everything, but their diet is shit, and they rely on the steroids and the testosterone to make up for their lack of hard work and their lack of discipline. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, it's I was listening to his story talking about how he eats 6 to 8 times a day or every 2 hours, or and just talk about his workout routine, 2 workouts a day, one that's all cardio, one that's all weights. And I started to adopt some of that into my own routine and to my own diet and fitness regimen. Honestly, the second time I lost weight, I ate more than I've ever eaten in my life on a daily basis. I would eat 6 to 7, sometimes even 8 times a day. Because the thing is that
I've seen you devour whole pizzas.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, when I work out intensely and everything, I actually have a way better appetite than when I don't. Because the thing is, it's kind of funny. When we started feeling symptoms of being sick 2 weeks ago, and I couldn't even eat a small piece of meat. I'm like, okay, now I know something's wrong. Because usually I could just devour everything in sight. I'm on a damn garbage disposal or a vacuum cleaner when it comes to food. So the thing is, eating so much and so frequently throughout the day, it helps kickstart and boost my metabolism. And the thing is too, I supplement that with drinking roughly 2 gallons of water. Like pre-quarantine is about 2 gallons of water.
Yeah.
I'd be able to measure it better. Right now, since I'm working at home, I mean, I hit that goal. I don't quite hit that goal every day, but I get close enough to it. So that's the thing. It's like the water just helps sweat out a lot of that excess water weight, and then the diet helps your metabolism just be consistent throughout the day. Yeah. And the thing is, like at work, like everybody jokes like I have my own little market in my desk because I'll stack that full of like supplements and like protein bars, protein cookies, fruit. I'll have like all my meals in the fridge for the day. I'll bring my little 6-pack food case and containers of food, and it's like, I mean, that's the thing. It's kind of one of those things that takes a lot of time, like
and money. It's a lot of money.
I mean, it can be, but you got to be smart about it. I mean, that's the thing. I think a lot of people get turned off thinking like, oh, well, this is going to cost me a lot to eat healthy or whatever. Well, yeah, if you go to Whole Foods and just buy, like all the overpriced stuff over there, in bulk and everything, but that's the thing. When it comes to food, I've learned to become like somewhat minimalistic in the sense I like once a week I'll really just buy what I need.
Okay. Yeah, like it's funny because I'll look at it and be like, fuck that, I'm not spending that money. I'm not cheap. I spend money where I need to.
Yep.
But then I'll blow $100 on Lucille's and be like,
And I think I noticed that too, like when I would try to justify myself being like, that's too expensive to eat healthy. And then it's funny because I was actually in doing a science group with like some older guy when I was doing a science class over at Rio Hondo College, and he was explaining to me like, well, actually it's not that expensive because the guy was actually staying in his RV at the time, so he kind of ate all his own food and everything that he cooked himself, and it's kind of funny once he pointed it out to me and he kind of broke down the logic, and I was like, I guess it actually is more expensive just to eat out all the time, because if you're eating out all the time, that stuff adds up quickly, especially if you're eating multiple times a day. I mean, if you eat like one meal a day, like let's say you go to Chipotle or whatever, and you buy like a Chipotle bowl. First off, the portions in a Chipotle bowl are ridiculous.
Suck, yeah.
Well, no, honestly, I would say they're too big for the average person, especially if you're trying to eat healthy. That's another thing in my current weight loss. I eat some pretty decent sized meals, but I think the thing is too, like I eat 6 times a day and everything, but my meals are smaller portions. They're well balanced portions, but like they're smaller portions overall. Like sometimes I get a burrito. Like when I was going to college, we had Qdoba instead of Chipotle though, so it's kind of it's basically the same thing. It's like the non-union equivalent, Yeah. But anyway, it's basically the same thing, and the size of the bowls are ridiculous. It's like, how is one person who's trying to be healthy gonna eat all this? It's like you're definitely gonna have leftovers. For some people, like for me, I'm a bigger guy and now I have a big appetite, and I'm thinking like, this is too big for one meal. You know what I mean? I think that's a part of the thing too. Like when people eat healthy or try to adopt healthier eating habits, they think they can get away with gigantic portions or anything. But no, I mean, that's the problem. You get lured into a false sense of security. So you go to Subway, get that foot-long sub, or go to Chipotle and get that big burrito bowl with all sorts of extra shit in it. And you're eating clean, but you're not necessarily eating healthy because you're eating big portions. So the thing is, you're canceling it out. It's kind of like someone that goes to gets a gigantic plate of chili fries or whatever and then gets a Diet Coke. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not that bad because the food is clean for the most part and nutritious, but it's kind of like you're defeating the purpose of it,
That's true. So I'm just gonna grill you with the hard questions, Mauricio.
Okay. Go for it.
You try steroids?
Nope.
Did you ever consider it?
Not really. I think the thing is, because we grew up on pro wrestling, and it's kind of funny, like, maybe I'm kind of like numb to it whenever like a celebrity or athlete dies. Like, I kind of saw like the way some of the people reacted to Kobe Bryant, and at first I thought like, oh man, some of these people are taking this too hard or whatever. But then I think I realized that I'm a little numb to this because we grew up in pro wrestling, and a lot of our favorite
they all died.
Yeah, there was like a time period where a lot of our favorite wrestlers from the 80s and 90s, like they were dying like every other week, And the thing is, like, we've kind of just become numb to it when someone famous dies.
That's true.
But I think part of the thing is, like, we would see like these jacked up, larger than life characters die like before they even hit 50, and like you would see, they were into steroids and cocaine and had, substance problems. And I think that's why I've never really been attracted to it or even like tempted by it. Like I know I could get steroids if I wanted them, but it's kind of like, what's the point?
Yeah, the way Andre described it, it's so easy.
And the thing is, too, I think part of the thing is I have an addictive personality. Like, that's part of the reason why I don't I barely drink ever. I've had maybe like 5 drinks in my life ever, and honestly, a lot of times I really only drank because I felt like I was socially obligated to in those moments.
One of your former bosses made you, right?
Kind of, yeah. That's a different story, yeah. But anyway, what happens is that, like I've tried, I've tried weed and stuff before, but it's like I didn't really like it. And the thing is too, it's like it's kind of good because if I liked it, I know I would go all in on it. Like you kind of see it, like when I like something, I go all in on it. I learn everything about it, or like when I was like a big into Mountain Dew, I tried every flavor. Like whenever I try like an energy drink, I buy cases of them and try all the different flavors and stuff like that. Like I go all in on stuff. So I think the thing is because I think a lot too is like the story of like Chris Benoit and just seeing, what a wreck that guy ended up being in his final days. It's kind of funny because
that's from the concussions, though, right?
It's a combination of things, but like, especially if you've seen any documentaries, like The Dark Side of the Ring, or like that guy's just kind of a mess. And you kind of see examples like that of guys who are all jacked up on steroids, and obviously there are other factors too. And then it's just kind of one of those things where like, this isn't for me,
That was the grilling hard question. That was it. Did you ever try any different diets or anything like that? Or you just ate whatever you wanted? You got people, they talk about keto. They talk about, what's the other popular ones? Paleo.
Yeah.
All that shit. Did you ever try any of that, or did you look into it?
I mean, I've looked into it and things like that. I've heard, experts kind of break it down and try to explain it. I've listened to, even though I complained about it earlier, I listened to when Joe Rogan podcast, when he has some of those diet experts on and stuff. Like, he's big into the carnivore diet right now, where all you eat is red meat, no vegetables, just red meat and water and maybe some coffee. But the thing is, it's kind of like, that wouldn't really work for me because I love meat and everything, but like, I just know my body wouldn't process just meat alone very well. And the thing is, like, a lot of these things, like I said, like, it looks like it becomes work. And when the food becomes work, I'm not going to stick to it.
Yeah. No, it's like, that was the tone we said earlier. If you don't like it, you're not going to do it.
And the thing is, too, I think part of the reason, too, I've had more of a relaxed diet is just to kind of, honestly, my size. Like, for example, like, the last few years I've been training in Muay Thai kickboxing and stuff like that. And, I mean, the idea of competing has crossed my mind. Maybe just try a point sparring or an amateur fight. I train with a team called Blitz Muay Thai. They utilize the space over at UFC Gym San Dimas. And then some of the coaches also train at 10th Planet. They're the trainers at 10th Planet West Covina. So 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu has a Muay Thai kickboxing program over in West Covina too. The trainers are Jason Childers and Ricky Maldonado, and they have a fight team and everything, guys of Muay Thai fighters. And I mean, sometimes obviously, like, I'm the biggest guy there, by far. Like, a lot of the guys, they compete more like probably around, I think the heaviest guy underneath me maybe competes at under 170. So like, and the thing is too, like, I've seen my body, the way my body is, like, the lightest I've weighed since I was a kid, the first time I lost weight, the lightest I could get down to was 210.
Yeah, that was probably like 6th grade.
So the thing is too, like, I'm just thinking about it rationally. Like, if I were to ever try to compete, for example, I'd be a heavyweight. So it's like, I don't really need to worry about my diet too much.
Okay. Now, I'm going to switch gears a little. We'll talk about something a little more important.
Okay.
Me. I used to, it's funny, I used to drag your ass to the gym, right? And then it became vice versa. You had to try to fucking pull teeth and get me to the gym. But I think, I'm starting to feel at the point where I'm like, I don't like this anymore. And it sucks because I used to be very active. I was in my best shape when I was wrestling at Rio Hondo College. I didn't even realize it because they had us fucking working out so much. Yeah. Getting good weightlifting in and everything like that. But just all the injuries and everything just kind of caused you to, deteriorate and whatnot. But it is what it is. I get lazy, feel worn out from years of like wear and tear. I mean, I don't really care how I look. Honestly, I'm a grown fucking man. I don't care how I look.
Yeah.
It's just I care more how I feel and how I affect other people.
Right.
You know, because obviously, you know, I have to shop big and tall, so I can't just, you know, get a present from somebody that's like a 2X shirt. I'm like, hey, this shit's not gonna fit. You know, like maybe 2X like sweatpants or some shit. You know, because it's kind of weird how my body works.
Right.
You know, like 2X shorts or something they'll fit, but I'm like, yeah, don't give me any fucking shirts. You know, ever. You know, you wear cool shit all the time, and I can't be like, hey, let me borrow that jacket because it'll look like fucking Chris Farley and the fat guy in a little coat.
Yeah.
You know, I can't sit in certain chairs or booths. You know, and it's kind of annoying. I have to, you know, get everything, you know, Fabian sized. You know, I actually didn't really think I would be more out of breath as often as I am.
Right.
But I am.
Yeah.
You know, because I never really experienced that. Even when I went to the doctor, they're like, oh, you're healthy. I'm like, oh, really? The fuck? How did that happen? You know? But, I mean, the whole out of breath thing, I mean, like, that's part of the reason I retired from concerts.
Yeah.
You know? I hate walking around at concerts like, here's another goddamn hill. I'm like, hey, Mauricio, you go enjoy the show. I'll be over here.
Yep.
I'll be in the car. You just come when the show's over. You know, obviously even clothes that I do have, you know, it fits a little awkwardly. Even fucking bathroom stalls, I'm like, I don't want to go in the regular one. I feel kind of like if I'm in an airplane stall or some shit like that. So I'll wait for the handicap one, you know?
Yeah.
So, and, you know, I think it's time to start a project.
Yeah.
You know? Let's make Fabian great again. From large to in charge. From overweight to feeling great. From eat like shit to lean and fit. You know, it's like we said, he's coming back. So lick my sack. You know, but who knows? Maybe like you could start a side business and help people lose weight. You know, I've always told you should probably like start a fucking side hustle.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, people thrive off of that shit. They see results, and if you have like the old fat pictures, I know you don't have very many of them. They got at least one somewhere.
Yeah, I do, and I think that's part of the thing. Is like, right now, I like when I've considered doing training and stuff before. Like, it was something I considered when I was in college. Like, and it was hard. I was having a hard time finding work at a part-time job or whatever. I know we did bouncing for a bit, but once that well dried up, you know, I was just kind of having, you know, going to school, and then like. Obviously in the long run that ended up working out pretty well, that I didn't get into that career-wise, but it's something I've considered, you know, like maybe as a side income. Thankfully, especially right now, I didn't get into that because I know if I got into personal training and I would have gotten all in on it, and I probably would have, you know, abandoned my collegiate path, and I wouldn't be in the job I'm at right now, and I would be fucked like a lot of people in fitness right now.
That's true. I mean, but you know, other assholes already monetize it. You know, maybe there's a way you can sort of work it in because, I mean, it's a skill. You know,
right?
And you see all these people like at Fit Expo and shit like that too. Where man, when I took the kids on a field trip to Fit Expo, I realized that fucking. You know, fitness industry is the biggest fucking ruse out there.
Oh, definitely.
You know, they have all these fucking blowhards that act like experts. They don't know shit.
Right.
You know, they just happen to look a certain way, and they want to tell you that they know what they're talking about. They don't know shit.
Yeah, those Fit Expos, they also show you that Photoshop and photo editing is a hell of a thing.
Even like, you know, I thought guys like Jay Cutler were huge. And I'm like standing there, and someone's like, oh, there's Jay Cutler. I'm looking around like, the fuck is he? And I look down, and I'm like, oh, they're all midgets.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, let's not even get into some of those Fitspo models. Their products are not quite what they appear in the mirror.
Well, I mean, yeah, if, you know, like, who's the one? Who was the cartoon that's it's King of the Hill, right? Like, well, you're a better man than that ass, or what? Like, yeah, other people have clients, and you're a better man than those assholes.
Well, I think part of it too is just like I said, like I have an all-in approach to things, and right now I'm focusing on my own career. I mean, like I got a degree for a reason, and I like where I work right now. That like I don't have a ton of free time because like I got a lot. the thing about my job, I always have something to do right now. And the thing is like, I think part of the reason too why I probably haven't got into training and things like that is like, I'm not an expert on something. You know, obviously I've had results and everything like that, but it's kind of one of also the things where I'm not like properly trained in nutrition and fitness. So it's kind of, I'm going to respect that. You know what I mean? Like I'm not going to act like I know more than nutrition experts and proper trainers. I'm going to stay in my lane for now and just, you know, let people who are good at that, you know, handle that prep. You know, it's kind of like right now where like people who failed, you know, freshman biology all of a sudden think they know better than disease experts and legitimate doctors. You know, it's kind of one of the, I'm going to stay in my lane for now. So, but I think as things, once I start getting some more free time and, you know, especially once the gyms open back up, it's something I'm definitely willing to consider. But I think a lot of the reason why I kind of don't take on other people to train or get too much into becoming a trainer or doing some type of fitness side hustle is a lot of the time the thing is fitness is all about your own self-motivation. The thing is like I can tell people what to do or how to work out or whatever, but if they're not motivated themselves or don't have that internal inspiration, they're not going to stick to it. And the thing is ultimately like I'm just taking your money at that point. And don't get me wrong, hey, I like money and everything. Money's cool, but it's like it's one of those things like you're not gonna keep paying me long term if you don't want to stick to it. You know the thing, and I think that's part of the thing too. Like I just kind of feel like I would be wasting people's time if you know if I try to force people to do something. You know, and I think that's the problem with a lot of trainers. Like a lot of them just have bad attitudes when people don't respond to you know what they're telling them.
Trainers are assholes.
Yeah, they are. It's kind of hilarious that people are so willing to spend money on personal trainers and stuff because a lot of, I mean, obviously there are good ones out there, you know, good trainers, good coaches, but like a lot of them do live up to the stereotype. A lot of them are judgmental assholes who have the patience of a child, you know, and it's kind of like it's something, you know, training and coaching is something where you have to have a lot of patience and a lot of discipline. And honestly, I think if I got properly trained, I would be, you know, I would be able to be a pretty decent trainer because I'm a pretty patient person. And the thing is, you know, as far as this discipline goes, I mean, you could tell me if you think I'm disciplined or not. I mean,
in some things.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to go through the social media says comments. There's only a few of them. I asked this question probably about a month ago now because I was really prepping for all the podcasts ahead of time. So I asked people, what are some hurdles in your way of trying to live healthier? We have Miguel Huerta from Facebook. He says the hoarders, you know, that's the problem. You can't make healthy food if the essentials are being hoarded. You kind of see that with the meat right now a little bit, right? There's like a meat shortage.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like I think that's part of the reason why we've kind of got a little creative with some of our meals lately. Like, which there was one week I brought home like lamb and bison and stuff like that. And
I cooked the shit out of that.
Oh yeah, definitely. And honestly, like we were eating really good for a couple of weeks, and then we got sick, and we just didn't have any more appetite. But I mean, that's the thing. It's like it just depends on how you approach it. It's like if something's not available, just got to get something else in. I mean. You can get pretty damn creative with healthy meals and things like that. So
chicken and fish are always there.
Yeah, if chicken and fish are there, or no, actually, chicken is actually in very high demand right now, so there's not a lot of chicken available.
Oh,
but
shit.
You can try turkey, or you could try, you know, you're trying something a bit more creative. Yeah, try bison, try lambs, try some more different types of meats. I mean, there's some good lean meats out there you can get.
Yeah. All right, we got Valerie Garcia from Facebook says, I think for me, finding time for myself has been the hardest part of keeping on top of my health. I don't always feel 100%. It can be for numerous reasons: diet, sleep, stress, being a mom. I can barely use the restroom by myself, let alone leave the house for a few hours to go to the doctors for any visits, and definitely not go alone. So I avoid it unless it's necessary and I have to go to the ER, which is bad. As I'm getting older, 37, I feel like I need to be more cautious with myself and my health and make time to take time for myself and get my ass to the doctor.
Okay, well, yeah, fortunately I've never had to deal with a lot of any kind of medical issues. You know, most of us in our family are surprisingly pretty damn healthy in that regard. Like,
we don't die either. Like, we live to like 100 something.
Yep. Like, yeah, we last long. We're built to last. But Yeah, that was a problem before too, making time. And I mean, hey, pre-quarantine, like you barely even see me in the house. Like the thing is like it's one of those things where your health and your fitness, you got to make time for it. And if it's something you really want to focus on, you got to make it a priority. I know life can be tough sometimes. Like thankfully, I don't have any kids right now because. Yeah, I have no idea how I would handle such a thing, but what's it called? Make time. You don't really have a lot of free time to yourself. Get creative. I mean, that's what I had to do right now in quarantine. Obviously, no gyms are open. I spend most of my free hours in the gym. Well, right now, I mean, obviously, yeah, like. Prior to getting any kind of weight lifting equipment or anything like that, I was getting creative. I mean, thankfully we had some equipment. So yeah, but if you can't get weights, I mean, use body weight exercises. I mean, getting started is the hardest thing you can do, honestly. Like
I still challenge you to a wrestling match, and you don't want that.
Well, we'll see. I mean, we don't have a lot of space out here. I mean, I got mats though, so yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I think once you get started and once you get in a bit of a routine, it's easier to maintain it. And I mean, like I said, like pre-quarantine, I was working out twice. Like here's like what a normal day would look for me. I would wake up, pretty much just get ready. Sometimes I would pack like my work clothes the night before. Sometimes I would just cram them up together the morning. But I would pack my gym bag full of my changes of clothes, any gear that I need. Get water, mix my pre-workout real quick, and then head to the gym for my first workout. Get my first workout out of the way, weights and cardio, shower up, get my ass to work, put in a full shift at work, and then head out for my second, get all my meals in throughout the day at work. Thankfully, I had a desk. It's funny, I've had pretty much since I've graduated from college, mostly desk jobs in offices. It's funny, people try to when they say like, oh, like eating healthy in an office is so hard, and it's like, actually no, it's pretty damn easy because you're just sitting at a desk all day. Yeah. I mean, obviously I understand the pressures in the sense that there's a lot of social pressure, like people will find any reason to have a potluck in an office environment.
That's true.
And or sharing like. Pizza or cake. It's always somebody's birthday or something.
Somebody's always ordering Uber Eats and shit, too.
Yeah, definitely. But, yeah, I mean, for the most part, in an office job, as long as you make an effort, you can find plenty of time to eat clean. But, obviously, everybody's jobs are different. But that's the thing. You got to make it a priority. It's like pre-quarantine, Sundays actually used to be my lazy day, but eventually they became my busiest day of the week. I would do all my shopping for the week. I would go, get all my food. I would go and get a powerlifting workout, and then I would spend the rest of the night cooking. I mean, sometimes you would wake up in the middle of the night and be like, "You're still up?" And yeah, I'd be cooking my meals for the week.
I'm taking a shit at 3 a.m. and then I smell bacon.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like I wouldn't get a ton of sleep from Sunday to Monday, but the rest of the week I would, just try to get everything done, be efficient with my time, and I think that's the most important thing, is just being efficient with your time.
So we got a last comment from Armando Gonzalez on Facebook. He says, mental discipline and time management are the issue. He says, I'm weird. I tend to eat better when I work out. If I don't work out, I not too terribly, but definitely could make better choices. You find that to be true too? If you work out, you tend to eat better?
Yeah, that's true, because the thing is, like I said before, like when I started to work out and kind of clean up my diet, I started to eat things that are more beneficial to me as far as performance goes. For example, the second time that I ended up losing weight, the way I gained most of that weight was through powerlifting. Like I'd be doing like crazy heavy deadlifts, heavy squats. I was deadlifting like 545 pounds or squatting like 500 pounds. And what happened is that I started to eat relatively clean. I would say like a little dirty clean in the sense, there's a flexible dieting. I would eat relatively clean for the most part, but if somebody had pizza or whatever, I'd obviously sneak it in, or you remember after we go to the gym, we'd always get like Taco Bell or something afterwards or whatever, our post.
That's protein.
Yeah, there we go. We would try to justify it, yeah. But what would happen is that I would start to feel it, and then obviously, I packed on a lot of bulk for powerlifting, and what happened is that I started to notice, I think part of the reason too why I changed my approach to weightlifting is that did take a toll on my body as well. I've never spoken about this, but I've actually, between me and you, but there was one night I actually had what I think was a panic attack. Oh. Because like I kind of stressed my body out trying to lift so much one night, and then I was kind of I was going through a tough time in a sense, like as far as my financially, yeah, because I had just been laid off at a job that I had right out of college, and I was having a hard time finding another one, and I think just kind of a combination of things, just took there was one day when I got home from the gym, I just kind of kneeled down and like I started having what I think was a panic attack, like it was weird, so like
you couldn't breathe.
Yeah, and then I think the only thing that snapped me out of it was I had like the most painful cramp in my abdomen that I've ever had. And that was like the only thing that snapped me out of it. And I noticed like, hey, this isn't really working out too well, like the excessive eating and the excessive lifting and things like that. So I started and that's where I started being better at portion control. Okay. And then obviously I started to you probably started noticing I started getting a bit pickier with my eating. Like if you wanted to go get Taco Bell or whatever, I'm like, I don't really want anything. Or like I'd be like, if somebody bought pizza or whatever, I'd be like, I'll have it after. I need to go to the gym first or something. And the thing is too, like,
yeah, I'm like, you dick.
Well, I mean, part of the thing is like, well, first off, it's a mental thing. Like, if you eat it afterwards, it's kind of like your reward. You know what I mean? But also, it's kind of like I need to make room for it. You know, like if I'm gonna eat this, I feel more comfortable eating it afterwards because if I eat it and then go to the gym, my performance at the gym is going to suffer. Yeah. I just know my body at this point. Like, I can't, take that shortcut anymore. Like, it's like I feel a lot better if I have like a protein bar or like steak and eggs or something like that than if I do, eat like Burger King breakfast or something. Like Burger King breakfast is delicious. Can't have it every day though.
That's debatable.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to close it out with a couple things. Just one of those items. I know it's not the same for everybody. Keep it brief, but if you had to give 3 pieces of advice to somebody looking to lose, maybe not 100 pounds, but 20, 30 pounds, something like that, what are 3 quick pieces of advice that are pretty much like foolproof?
All right. The first thing I would say is find your internal motivation. I mean, the thing is for me, and I think this is pretty universal, to get started, you have to do this for yourself. Because the thing is, if you're doing this for other people, particularly weight loss, you're probably not going to approach it in the best way possible. And it's not going to stick long term.
Okay. What else?
Well, there you go. It's a long-term process. Your change is not going to happen overnight. I mean, I've lost 100 pounds twice, and trust me, it was not an overnight process. I mean, I got through it pretty quickly both times within a year, but, you're going to have to think about it long-term. It's a gradual process. It's not a quick fix. And if you try to approach it as a quick fix, it's not going to last long-term, and you may end up being detrimental to your health in the long run.
And then one last tip.
You've got to enjoy what you're doing. I mean, when it comes to the foods that you eat, you got to enjoy those. And when your workouts, make sure to find something that you actually like doing. I mean, lifting weights and running on a treadmill or running outside isn't for everybody. So if just find your niche. I mean, for me, I've gone through a couple different types of workouts and different training regimens, and when I've done those, I've really enjoyed what I was doing. So find something you like doing, stick to it, and you'll notice that as you enjoy yourself, the results will come.
Okay. Now, the couple last things I want to do. Number one, you have any shout outs or anybody you want to plug? Could be your fight team or whatever. If they have a website or a Twitter or an Instagram, or anybody you want to shout out on the podcast?
Yeah. I mean, they don't have a Instagram or anything like that, but if you ever want to train and you live in like the San Dimas, Sousa, Glendora area, or even West Covina, Blitz Muay Thai, they have classes in kickboxing at UFC Gym San Dimas. So when that reopens up, they handle all the kickboxing classes. There's some classes they run 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 5 p.m., 6 p.m., 7 p.m. There's some nights, Mondays and Wednesdays are open sparring nights, and then 10th Planet West Covina, they also run kickboxing over there. So every night at 9 p.m. Just check it out. I mean, you can always try out a class and just see how you feel, see if you like it, see if it's for you. I mean, hey, you might develop a passion for it, you might like it. Hey, it's a fun way to lose weight or just a fun time overall. So yeah, check it out.
And then the last thing I want to do before we close up, every guest, I ask them about the next episode after them. So you're episode number 4.
Mm-hmm.
Episode number 5, I have Roy Rodriguez. I don't know if you remember Roy from Vegas.
Oh yeah, I remember him.
Yeah, pretty colorful character there. But I asked 2 social media sense questions for his episode. Just briefly, I know you're not an expert on it, but what do you think about the schools being closed? That's one. What do you think about that?
I mean, obviously, it's going to be detrimental to kids. I mean, in the sense that, they're missing out on legitimate education. And
let me ask you, if you were a kid, would you be doing any of this work from home shit?
Oh, hell no.
I mean, because you weren't dumb,
No.
but you were a slacker.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, so, a lot of these kids are not doing shit.
Definitely, I could see that happening. I mean, whenever I've had to do online classes or online work for school, and this is as someone in their when I was in my 20s, is like I definitely slacked in that regard, because the thing is, if it's kind of something like if I have to do it at my own pace or my own time, I'm probably not gonna get it done.
And a lot of these adults too. I take the online classes for Mount St. Mary's College. They don't do that shit till like the deadline's at midnight on Saturday.
Oh, for sure.
They're 11:58 typing their answers and their generic ass answers. Like I agree with what you said. Thank you for your post. So yeah. I think it's probably even worse for kids.
I mean, for kids, yeah. I mean, they're not gonna approach it as well. But honestly, if you're a grown-ass adult and still doing your work that way, it kind of says a lot about you. I mean, just to relay this back to fitness real quick, I mean, how your work ethic when nobody's watching is a good indicator of how your discipline, how well disciplined you really are. It's like right now, like I'm actually, it's crazy. I'm actually finding when I do get to work out, I still have the same discipline as when nobody's watching. So that's the thing, work. If you got to work as hard as when people are around as when nobody's watching.
Nobody's watching, and I have no discipline. Not that. Maybe I'll get into it. Maybe when the gyms open up again, I
mean, hey, I have a lot of fitness equipment outside if you ever want to give it a shot.
I'm going to do the fucking the arm curls. We'll start there.
There you
go. And then there's a second social media says question for Roy. He wants to bring up conspiracy theories. What's the craziest or let's say stupidest conspiracy theory you've ever heard?
Man, not to put any of my friends on blast right now, but a lot of them are a bit of weirdos. I mean, don't get me wrong, I grew up with a lot of friends that were stoners and stuff, but some of these dudes are out there, like they're all up on mushrooms, and Joe Rogan's their idol, and they're all in all these crazy conspiracy theories. I mean,
DMT, or the end of DMT?
I mean, hey, I've never asked them directly, but it wouldn't surprise me.
I just wanted to say DMT.
DMT. Anyway, man, I mean, crazy conspiracy theory.
They must have told you at least one stupid one.
Off the top of my head, maybe some of them believe the 5G bullshit. That we're all being, the quarantines because of 5G or whatever. I mean, it's pretty stupid. I mean, it's funny because they believe that shit, reposting it from their 4G phone. I mean, I guess, the only G you got to worry about is real G.
Who's the real G?
Me.
Oh shit. Well, with that in mind, we'll close out here. How did you like being ambushed on the podcast, Mauricio?
I mean, it wasn't so bad. I mean,
this is probably the longest one I've done.
Honestly, I was trying to avoid it the whole time. I was hoping you'd lose interest. But I mean, part of it too is just I was having a hard time just getting any free time to do this.
No, we made it just in time. I'll post this within 5 hours.
Cool.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
All right. So I appreciate everybody listening. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Thank you. Fuck you, and good night. Podcasts on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. Like, follow, and share on Facebook and Instagram at Ignorance is Strength Podcast, and on Twitter at The Ignorance Pod.